I heard Nigeria's on a huge come up though. Like I know it's a lot
They
of
don't play, man.
yeah,
No,
and that's
they
more
definitely
like
don't.
the Igbo is more in central, right? The central location. Like, where's the capital at? What's the capital of Nigeria?
It used to be Lagos.
Okay,
But I think in the 90s, 97, I believe, it moved to Abuja.
okay,
Yeah.
wow.
So that's like central.
Have you been back to Nigeria, or have you went to
Oh,
Nigeria?
yeah, I've been a few times. First two times I was like 3.
Okay.
Wow.
And then the next was 14, and then just recently I was 27. So it's interesting experiencing it in all those age ranges, like as a child, and then as a teenager, and then as an adult. It's interesting perspectives
What do you,
shifts.
I know you are heavy into politics. I mean, we're gonna go into American politics for sure, because I know you touch on that on your podcast, the Fox podcast, y'all. What do you think about like the Nigerian politics? Like, because I know Boko Haram, that dude, man, he was kidnapping people. He was doing all kind of stuff. Like,
My goodness.
actually, African politics, period, bro.
Yeah,
Like, it gets crazy. You
I can
thought
only imagine.
American politics crazy? No, not African
I can
politics,
only
bro.
imagine.
It's wild, man.
Yeah.
It's mostly just it's like it's just messy bureaucracy. Like we have messy bureaucracy too, you know. Like so there are things that slip through the cracks. We have our money launderers, our you know, our shysters, all that shit. But it's I think the main thing over there is just it's easier to get away with over there because there's no like FBI, there's no investigative unit that like tracks these things down. And they have like fringe organizations, but like there's nothing that like really
There's no checks and balances, like you were saying in the US, right?
there is, but it's not.
Well, it's
It's
corrupt.
not. It's corrupt. It's heavily corrupt. It's not, and it's not like there's no. Let's just say it takes a lot to lock someone up over there. There's no real fear. If you have the money to kind of get around some of these things, there's no real fear for you. You know,
Hey, to be honest, though,
get away a lot.
that's kind of like American politics too.
In a way, yeah, it is.
Got the money, like you can get out of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So who's to say it's the big difference, you know?
Yeah, but the biggest thing is mostly safety. It's just there's no their concept of I mean, we have problems with the police as well, but like at least you know that
At least you know that some kind of check on the police.
yeah, you know, there's, you know, and there's kind of there's, I mean, as little as we have here, there's still kind of accountability on the police.
And we have the public here to where, like, if something goes up, if the public gets a wind of that, the public go crazy, bro.
Yeah.
And that puts pressure on the politicians, the police, the judges, and stuff like that.
Right. And the thing over there is no one really, I mean, they try to put pressure, but you know, there's no, so like one of the big things that happened in 2020 was this whole movement called End SARS. And SARS is like this branch of Nigerian police that is known for kind of harassing people who kind of seem like they have like more wealth than most of the average citizens. You know, like they regularly take phones and like harass people coming from abroad, that kind of thing. And they have a really bad reputation for kind of just like roughing people up. They're just, you know, they're like aggro for no reason, you know?
Is that an organization, or is that just like
it's a branch of the police. So I think what's the SARS is an acronym for, it's like special, I can't think of the acronym right now. But it's
I can look it up. Y'all can
yeah.
Man.
But
look it up.
But so there was an incident on in Lagos on the Lekki toll bridge. It's like a bridge connecting the main body of Lagos, the state, to the island of Lekki. It's still in Lagos, but it's like a small island that's like where more of the wealthy Lagos inhabitants are. And it was basically like a Boston Massacre style shooting, you know. Wow. They brought in, I mean, they covered a lot of this up, but a lot of people got on the Insta and it was really hard for them to cover it up because they aren't as good as I'll say, maybe like the US and other European bodies at like censoring that kind of thing right away. So a lot of this stuff was recorded by famous artists and stuff. Where there was one DJ who got the entire thing on her Insta feed live. And they basically just like the military, I think someone called in the military. There's a big question on who. Someone called in the military and they use like heavy slugs, live rounds, and just shot point blank into this crowd of people protesting SARS.
Special anti-robbery squad, is that it?
Yes, I think that's it. Yeah.
Anti-robbery squad.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy, dude. That's
so I believe the date was October 20th. So they call that Black Tuesday.
20 what?
October 20th. 2020. Yeah, 2020.
Wow, that was recent. So right in the midst of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Wow.
It kind of. I feel like most of the motivation for that was what everyone saw going on here with the whole George Floyd thing.
I think so.
That's what, you know, everyone was looking at their own police forces, and Nigeria really took a look at theirs and they were like, you know what? We got to get rid of SARS, just like they're calling for defunding the police in the US.
So did they end up defunding them or getting rid of them?
They had a long court proceeding that basically amounted to nothing. It was basically like they just heard a lot of grievances. So they had a lot of people come up to the court and, you know, say how SARS wronged them. You know, they did this to me. Right. But then nothing really happened. Yeah. It just kind of like went away.
I think that's a major issue with Africa and African politics is like when it comes down to the courts, like the courts don't hold as much weight as it should be. Like if a court decision happens over in the US, like that becomes the law of the land. But sometimes like the judges are paid off over there, or, you know, they don't hold that court as like the law of the land. You know what I mean? So
they're paid off here too, but it's harder. It's harder. They cover their tracks better. Yeah.
But it's so crazy, dude. Because I got a big heart, bro. Like I got a big heart. So you telling me that they coming in and, you know, just shooting people, that reminds me of genocide, like Rwanda, when they were just killing people and, you know, getting rid of a race of people. You know, these are protesters and you don't even have the right to freedom to speak. You know what I mean? To say no, that's wrong.
Nope.
You know what I mean? So if you can't even do that, then how are you supposed to ever get better or question the authority? You know, it's like, okay, what y'all say goes.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like that's wrong to me. Like even me, like, okay, if I'm a big boss, call me Ray Ross. You know, and I'm running the country. I'm running whatever business,
bro, basically.
And, like if you can't allow someone to question your decision making, then how can you ever be better? You know what I mean? How can you ever have
a question?
At that point, you're only trying to keep control. You're only trying to hold your power.
That's what everything is about, bro. It's about
finish your thought, Tyler.
No, it's the key into having power is having control. That's what it's about. And whatever by any means that you can have control, do so.
Yeah, I think it's messed up, bro.
And to Tyler's point, actually, I think one of the main reasons why that happened, and they were very clever to cover up who actually gave the order, even though there's some speculation as to who. because of what was happening and why they called them out there. So the Lekki Toll Bridge is like one of the main avenues or throughways for business to travel through.
Yeah.
So if you mess with the money, they're gonna come for you. So I think they shut down the bridge for like the protesters for I believe it was like 8 or 10 days, and that alone in Nigeria, and Lagos is like the biggest money making state. So you shut down business in Lagos for about 8 or 10 days.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
The whole Nigeria.
Yeah. So they needed a way to clear them out. And that was the way that they thought of, unfortunately. And it was sad. It was sad.
Yeah. And I would point towards leadership towards that, but it's like you said, they're trying to hold power. Famous dictator Boko Haram, he would do outrageous stuff, bro. I didn't see, like, he was like crazy, dude. Like, he would kill like thousands of women and children. Like, Africa.
Well, I think Boko Haram is the whole org, though.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, that's the whole thing of it.
Yeah. I don't know. I forgot that the leaders changed hands a few times, but I think the main leader is in hiding. Or he might be dead.
You know who the president now is?
Huh?
Like the president now of the whole Nigeria?
His name is Muhammadu Buhari. Yeah.
Yeah. Is he like good? Like, what do you think about him? Like, is he good?
I have my theories, man.
Just like overall, like good or bad, like.
Well, he's not doing anything for the country for sure.
Okay.
Maybe he's enriching his friends.
Okay, so still not for the people, not with the people.
Yeah, I mean, so like it's weird. Like he does some things that are interesting, but